Start.
Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna, everybody. Thanks for joining. Let's go ahead and start with the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Katamahyam Dadate Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Lalita Shri Sakhanutanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Satya Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Panchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay. Okay. Let's go through the verse first. Madhāsraya kadhamrishta shrinvanti kayanti cha tapanti vividastapa naitan matgata chetasa. One more time. Madhāsraya kadhamrishta shrinvanti kadhayanti cha tapanti vividastapa naitan matgata chetasa. Let's go through the word-to-word translation. Matasrayaha, about me. Katha, stories. Mrishta, delightful. Shrinvanti, they hear. Kathayanti, they chant. Cha, and. Tapanti, inflict suffering. Vividha, various. Tapaha, the material miseries. Na, do not. Etan, unto them. Matkata, fixed on me. Chetasa, their thoughts. Translation. Engaged constantly in chanting and hearing about me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the sadhus do not suffer from material miseries because they're always filled with thoughts of my pastimes and activities. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. There are multifarious miseries in material existence, those pertaining to the body and the mind, those imposed by other living entities, and those imposed by natural disturbances. But sadhu is not disturbed by such miserable conditions because his mind is always filled with Krishna consciousness. And thus, he does not like to talk about anything but the activities of the Lord. Maharaj Ambarish did not speak of anything but the pastimes of the Lord. Vachamsi Vaikunta Gunanu Varnane. Bhagavatam reference, 9th canto, 4th chapter, 18th verse. He engaged his words only in glorification of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sadhus are always interested in hearing about the activities of the Lord or his devotees. Since they are filled with Krishna consciousness, they are forgetful of the material miseries. Ordinary conditioned souls, being forgetful of the activities of the Lord, are always full of anxieties and material tribulations. On the other hand, since the devotees always engage in the topics of the Lord, they are forgetful of the miseries of the material existence. Madasraya kadamishta srinvanti kadayanti cha tapanti vividastapa naitanmatata chetasa. Let's go. Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Let's try to see what Prabhupada is trying to tell us through this verse. Personally, this verse was very, very encouraging and inspiring, and a reminder for me, because the last line of the purport that Srila Prabhupada gave, very good reminder and an inspiration for me, which says, since the devotees always engage in the topics of the Lord, they are forgetful of the miseries of material existence. So that was very, very, that stuck in my mind when I read this purport, because, we all suffer in this material world. There is nobody that can say that they doesn't suffer, because we come in this material world to, for the with the propensity of enjoyment. So I think with the propensity of enjoyment, there comes a certain part of suffering as well. So here Prabhupada in the verse is referring multifarious miseries in material existence, which we all go through in various degrees according to what we have to go through. So, the three kinds of sufferings that he is referring, body and mind, by other living entities, and by natural disturbances, is Adhyatmika, Adibhautika, and Adidaivika. So, Adhyatmika being the related to body and mind, Adi, like for example, maybe I can say, oh, I have a headache today, or my mind is not in place today, or I'm having something, my body, my I have fear, something like that. That is Adhyatmika, so pertaining to the body and mind. He's also referring to the sufferings Adibhautika, like where we have with other living entities. Maybe we all might have experienced when we went for in India Yatra, somewhere the mosquitoes are biting us, or something like that. Some other living entity causing some trouble for us. So that the suffering caused by that is referred as Adi Bhautika. And then Adi Daivika, we are seeing so many natural calamities that we hear every day nowadays, which we have no control over. So sometimes, I think we had snow today, so which is very unusual. But yeah, of course, Chicago people are used to it. But yeah, snow right now, so that is something which we don't have any control. Or for some part of the world, there is an earthquake, which we don't have any control. So Prabhupada is referring to all these kind of three kind of scenarios through which we experience material miseries. So, but we get small pleasures. I always remember the example of the fish. Uh, you know, it is in the it just comes for a minute outside for the breathing, but then it goes back into the water. Like just that small a fraction of time where we probably get some enjoyment according to what we desire and think that this place is a very happy place to live in. Um, and oh, our life is all right, or we are having a good life, we're having a settled life. So and Prabhupada is also referring to all, apart from all these things, we have four more. The Janma Mrityu Jara. So he's, says, where is we have heard him saying so many. Where is the point of enjoyment, or where is the point of happiness, the real happiness in this world? So it's only under the spell of Maya that we think that okay, this position, or the place in the work, the position in my work. Oh, it's a great place to be. The house that I'm living in, it's a very nice place, comfortable place to be. But 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 in reality, we have it's a very small phase. So we go through a lot of these miseries or calamities, which we try to, when they come, people think that, oh, why this is happening to me, why I'm going through this. So the appreciation actually came because that's when the devotion comes in play, because people who don't understand devotion, or who don't follow devotion, can do multiple things. One, they will, a lot of people, at least I have observed, they will do some form of worship, but then when hardships come in life, they will immediately start questioning, hey, I did so much puja, but why is God why is God giving me these calamities? And then the next step some people will go is, oh, then since God is not helping me in difficult situations, I'm not going to worship him. And then there are people who don't even go there, think that, okay, these bad things happen to me, so I will avenge. I will do bad things to people also because bad things happen to me. And then there are people who will think, oh, why this have only happened to me, and then go into depression and kind of things. So I was really appreciating because two things: one, to our culture, and two, to Sri Prabhupada, because we are reading these we're reading these scriptures, which will give us a better understanding. It's better to have attend a problem with an understanding rather than attend a problem with a no understanding. So these scriptures or books that we are reading are like tools which will give us better understanding to deal with problems. For example, when I was trying to do an analogy, um, I was thinking about a car accident, and something like that. It's a simple example came to me was a car accident, or somebody hit our car, something like that. So if in that scenario, if a person who's like probably who don't who's not attached who's attached to the car will think, oh my god, my car, and then my car got hit. Now I have to go to the dealer, get it repaired. I don't know how much it is going to cost. This is my favorite car. I don't know if I will get another one like this. So because there is so much attachment to that vehicle. So whereas probably a person who understands that we are, it's very temporary, that this is that and I don't think this is my car in a true sense, and all these luxuries are a temporary thing. Yes, I will have this difficulty. Maybe I will not have car for a couple of days until it gets fixed. But he's not that affected because he knows that it is temporary, and nothing is really belongs to us, and it is not going to stay forever. So that kind of understanding is only possible because we understand nothing is permanent and everything is temporary in this world. And I was also appreciating the culture growing up. If if maybe I went out, somebody did something, and I would come in a rage home, saying that, oh, why this person did like this to me. I was fair, but still, why this person reacted like this to me and did um you know um unfavorable thing. Then there will be somebody in the house who can tell, well, you might have to have, that probably was in your destiny. It's okay. It might have happened big, but instead, God reduced it to a smaller effect. So that all the elders in the house would tell you like that, so that you can see the positive side in it. So that way I was appreciating our culture too. So because I think all these learnings in some way come to us in a simplified manner through them. So, and one can say why reading these books will help us. Like for example, I'm sure all of us know this verse in Bhagavatam. It's a very famous verse. Matra sparshasta kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkada agama paino nityastan tamstariksha bharata. Where Krishna says in this to Arjuna that these material sufferings are just like the sufferings of season, like seasonal suffering. In summer we suffer, in winter also we suffer. So, like in summer we suffer with heat, in winter we suffer with cold. Like how we are having snow today. Only the driving people who drive to work will know the pain. So, like that, we're being educated. We're being educated constantly. Whether the purpose of us all coming together is the same. So we're being educated continuously to understand that this world is temporary, and also, and we should not be uh, affected by it. I think, and also this verse was speaking about how we perceive rather than we act, how we perceive when something comes. And the previous verse was also very interesting in giving the qualities of sadhu, where it says, we're always continuously thinking about the Lord and continuously um, glorifying the Lord. That continuation Prabhupada also gave in this purport, where he said Vachanti Vaikuntha Gunanu Varnane. So here he says he engaged his words only in glorification of the Supreme Personality of God. So, and sadhu is always interested only in hearing the activities of the Lord or his devotees. So when the parallel that we can draw is here is, when we engage our mind in somewhere else, we are less distracted. So there is no space for anything else to to think about anything else. So, for example, if a person is preoccupied in doing something, very focused in doing something, you go tell them, you try to talk to them. First, they won't probably hear what you said. Then you kind of jolt that person and say, "Hey, are you listening to me?" So that's the state, because he's very focused in what he or she is doing. So similarly, a person who's who's constantly absorbed and in the glories of the Lord, or thinking about the Lord, all these distractions, all these material miseries, yes, they will experience, or they will come to know, but the impact of them on them is very, 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 very less compared to people who are just thinking, who are not thinking, or who have not preoccupied their mind with whether with like with the glorification of the Lord, or with any good things that we want to we have in a we can remember. So here Prabhupada gives the example of Maharaj Ambarish. Maharaj Ambarish did not speak of anything but the pastimes of the Lord. I think that's a great example for follow somebody who's like a sadhu. So for example, all our spiritual masters, all they do wherever they go, they only speak about the Lord with their pastimes, so that they can and they're constantly in that. So such kind of people, their whole they don't really go through the material miseries like the regular people, because they don't have space for such kind of things. Well, it comes, it goes. We see some people like who are very poised or very strong, because in the previous verse I like the word drida, where you're very firm, in your practice. So that's one of the lakshana of sadhu. So when our footsteps are our stance is very staunch in practicing bhakti, all these material miseries will come. It's not like Krishna is going to take away. We got to go through what we got to go through, but he'll make it easy because we're engrossed in remembering him, thinking about him, and glorifying him. So those are some of the thoughts that I had about this verse. If anybody wants to comment or bring up any discussion, please go ahead. Okay. I don't hear any discussion, so I guess we can close the call very early. Thank you all so much for joining. Lakshmikant Prabhu, I think I'm going to end the call. Thank you so much for joining. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. You can end the call, Mataji. You are the host. I was just
Sure.